Welcome to Talking with the Experts. This is where we discuss great ideas to take your business to the next level. How do we know these ideas work? Well, it's because we're talking with business owners who are using these ideas. Business owners who have years of experience and expertise. All things business by business owners for business owners. And now, here is your host, Rose Davidson.
Hi, I'm Rose Davidson from Talking with the Experts. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Global Glamping Charities for their valued support. Global Glamping Charities, solving homelessness in all its forms. Reach out to them at globalglamping.org.
Talking with the Experts.
Outsourcing is an increasingly growing yet still underutilised tool. In episode 439, Nickie Cobble discusses how to achieve more by delegating your to-dos.
Why someone shouldn't. So I'll kind of narrow it down, but a reason why when someone shouldn't is maybe you're below 6 figures in revenue. You're kind of brand new. You don't have systems in place yet. And really delegating or outsourcing, but yet you're not doing higher profit generating tasks. So for example, that would basically just be an expense. So if you're paying someone to do your social media marketing and that's supposedly saving you 4 hours a week, but you're not selling more, or you're not going to more networking events, or you're not filming more Instagram lives, whatever brings in revenue, you're essentially just hiring an expense, right?
Talking with the Experts.
Hello, welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. My next guest is Nickie Cobble, and her claim to fame is outsourcing and delegation. And she explains to us that it is an increasingly growing yet still underutilised tool that helps businesses to grow and to thrive and to scale. And it is more affordable than it used to be. And oftentimes, owners and entrepreneurs get in their own way by delegating and not delegating properly and causing them more harm than good. So Nickie's here to educate us on the importance of outsourcing, how to do it most effectively. Now, Miss Nickie attended Florida State University on a full ride academic scholarship and graduated in 3 years and was recognised as summa cum laude. So, wow, that's pretty good achievement. Mm-hmm. In 2019, she started a credit card processing company called Honor, and within 1 year of business, it expanded into 9 states in the US. In 2022, she successfully developed, grew and sold a digital marketing agency that she had been running on the side while starting an outsourcing agency, which is called Outsourcing. And this agency helps entrepreneurs scale their business more affordably and more efficiently. Miss Nickie Cobble, thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for giving up your time.
Of course, Rose. Thank you very much for the amazing introduction. Very humbling.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yep. Mm-hmm. Not my words, but yep, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. And I'm at your disposal to help your listeners really navigate the kind of new and like you said, like I'm saying, the underutilized industry of outsourcing and delegation in general.
Yeah, absolutely. I just said to you off camera before that I've had a few of these interviews lately, and I think the universe is giving me a sign to say, Rose, now is time.
That's right. I mean, it's blowing up. And that's why, now more than ever, people like me. So I'm biased, I have my own outsourcing agency, but people like you are getting bombarded with emails. And I really kind of want to help them declutter that and select wisely, because some of these outsourcing agencies are paying someone in the Philippines $2 an hour and they're just not getting quality work done. So it's something I recommend, but you just got to do it smart.
Yeah, and I think that is a lot of people have been burned by virtual assistants from overseas. They pay a pittance for them, but you pay for what you get. I expect, and
Mhm.
that's why I've not outsourced anything yet, because I'm a bit frightened of the process, and
Mhm.
who to go to, and what can be expected. So perhaps you could explain to us, what in specific your agency does that helps entrepreneurs and business owners outsource these jobs that they just don't have time to do.
Yeah, so I'll start with, because I think a lot of people's first thought is, well, I'm just going to get someone that I vet myself from Fiverr, or what's the other one? Something where Upwork, which can be fine, though it is time consuming. The prices are likely higher, and people on those platforms are generally short term. So there's no kind of loyalty. It's kind of just ad hoc, one off projects. Whereas agencies like mine will really, sit down with you, chat just like we're doing. And I'm going to basically perform a time audit for you, your life, your business, and see, okay, well, she's spending 2 hours a day on email, and that is $10 an hour work, and you are worth, let's say, $100 an hour. You should not be doing email or your payroll or your recruiting. I'm going to help you decide what you need to outsource. Then I'm going to go vet them myself. I'm going to source them. I'm going to screen them for you. I'm going to interview them. And then essentially introduce you to this person, help you take them on, help you put the systems in place to really leverage them the most, get the most use out of them. So that's kind of the process.
Yeah, it's really important to get the process right, but it's really up to the business owner in the initial stages to actually have those processes written down, so that there's no miscommunication, and that the work isn't done to the standard that is expected by the business owner. So what specifically, I know SOPs are really important in a business, but what should be included in those that that people may forget?
So great to kind of extract that out of there, because systems and processes, those SOPs make, I know they don't want to put in that little time investment, but it's so worth it. I mean, I've seen people that can just really onboard their assistant for maybe a week, 2, 3 weeks. Whereas if you don't have those systems in place, it is easily going to take about 3 months to get comfortable with your assistant. So like 3 times the length. But really, all that is needed, and what I recommend, it's a free software. You might have heard of it. It's called Loom, loom.com. It literally allows you to screen record. So really, let's say you want to teach them how you do your payroll. You just do your payroll. It screen records you while you're doing it, and then you send them a link, and they know exactly what to do. You can talk them through it. So that's the easiest way. You don't have to type a thing, and they visually get to see how it's done. Outside of that, the obvious bullet points, checklists, possibly even doing a Zoom chat with them and recording the Zoom chat. Anything to minimize repeatedly having to tell them do X, Y, and Z. You want to teach them once and then have them be able to refer to something.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Nickie, how does one go about finding someone to outsource to? I mean, obviously your agency has a team behind them, but how do we find people like you to engage so that we can outsource our things?
Yeah. So I guess unfortunately for me, we're everywhere now. So someone's probably going to be in your spam right now when they're an outsourcing agency. But biasedly, I am just youroutsourceaid.com. Very simple, because I am your outsource aid. But really, we have a team behind me that's vetting. Again, I mean, there are probably fantastic avenues, but I really think the consulting part's important, and really making sure you're getting someone that is specialized in what you want, as opposed to getting, that jack of all trades. You don't want a virtual assistant that's like, oh, I can do your payroll and your recruiting, and I can check your emails and set your appointments. And that sounds really, really appealing, but you're really going to be getting below average work on all of those things. So just reach out to me. And if I can help you, I will. And if I can't, I will send you in the right direction.
Yeah. So how do you recruit your team members? What is the process that you use so that you get the best quality?
So what I did before I was even in this industry, and I was finding my own virtual assistant. So let's say you don't want to go through an agency and you just want to do it yourself. That's fine. I knew I wanted to use I wanted to have a VA from the Philippines. I just knew that from the start. They are English speaking, it's their first language. They're very hardworking. They're very affordable. There's just a million reasons. So I used a platform called Online Jobs PH. So onlinejobs.ph. And really that is basically a job form, or it's not a LinkedIn, but basically like a job form just for Philippines. You put up a listing and people pitch to be a part of your job. You can find people, vet them yourself. It's an extensive process, but that is essentially what we are using. We're just doing the vetting and interviewing for you.
Okay, that saves a job, really, doesn't it? I mean, if you know what your business owner is looking for and you can vet for them, it saves them, time and effort to have to do that themselves, especially if they haven't never done it before and they just don't know the questions to be asking.
Yes, exactly. Because it is a bit of a different culture. So now that me and the Filipinos were buds now, I'm really I'm saying, okay, maybe they are BSing on that answer, or, just like Americans, just like Australians, everyone can kind of have their own ways to BS through a job interview. So really that's what we have the job owner's best interest is this person not only qualified, but are they passionate? Do they fit the culture? Stuff like that.
Yeah. It's very important that they actually fit in with the culture of the organization, or that can work with the solo business owner, because personalities often get in the way of having a successful relationship.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I guess maybe we could touch on, why should people outsource? I mean, there are a million reasons, I know, but just maybe break it down into three, and we might explore those a bit more.
I'll start with why someone shouldn't. So I'll kind of narrow it down, but a reason why when someone shouldn't is maybe you're below 6 figures in revenue. You're kind of brand new. You don't have systems in place yet. And really delegating or outsourcing, but yet you're not doing higher profit generating tasks. So for example, that would basically just be an expense. So if you're paying someone to do your social media marketing and that's supposedly saving you 4 hours a week, but you're not selling more, or you're not going to more networking events, or you're not filming more Instagram lives, whatever brings in revenue, you're essentially just hiring an expense, right? So we definitely want the business owner or the solopreneur or the organization, whatever it is, to ensure I have my systems in place. I'm going to hire someone for 4 hours a week, 8 hours a week. They're doing this, and I am going to do X, Y, and Z more. So you just want to ensure that if you're worth $100 an hour, you're paying someone $10 an hour, and you're amplifying your profit. That is the whole point of this, other than maybe reducing some stress as well.
Oh yes, stress relief is a really great one for a reason to be outsourcing work. I know this week I've been challenged with changing hosts, website hosts. It's been an absolute nightmare, because we're in Australia and the host is in the US. So trying to get things done has been, not conducive to not being stressed, and things crashed and I couldn't get my emails, and so it's really, really important to sometimes have people that work for you close to home.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And there's no doubt some roles and positions that just have to be in person. Like I mean, heck, even IT can be remote now, believe it or not. I could have someone in China remotely access my computer, but it definitely is up to the business owner. No, if you want someone that's in person, but you think, hey, I'm going to save a couple bucks, maybe virtual assisting is really just not for you. If you need that
Yeah.
in-person culture, but
Yeah, and you
we'd
really need
let
to
you
be
know.
mindful of time zones because, we get so
Mhm.
used to working in our own time zone, we forget that other people have a life and they don't work when we do.
That's absolutely right. So, I'll ask, are you willing to work? We're in Central Standard Time. Are you willing to work from X to Z? And, that's, 4 a.m. for them. But most of the time they do say yes. And that's when I'll hire them. But if they're like, no, I'm not willing, then we know, okay, that's just part of the vetting process.
Mm.
They're not getting the position. And then some things, like if they're creating assets for YouTube Shorts or Reels, Instagram Reels, like social media, those can be performed at midnight in the US because we don't need them at a certain time. But again, it's just another variable to definitely consider.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, just have to be mindful that you are not sending an email that when they're in bed asleep and expect instant action, because there certainly isn't going to happen, and then don't get cross
Mm-hmm.
because you haven't got a reply back. So that's a
Yes.
really important thing to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Nickie, what else should business owners do to make the process a lot easier?
Mm-hmm. I definitely think at least communication once a week is very important with your virtual assistant. Having a face-to-face interview at least once, introducing yourself, explaining what you're expecting, explaining what hours you're expecting, what deadlines, really lay it out plain. I mean, they are not mind readers. Treat them as if they are an in-person employee. They're not. I get a lot of people who they churn because they really tell them do X, Y, and Z once, and they do it in an email. And then it's almost like they pretend like they don't exist, like there's some AI bot. They are real humans. They really can't read your mind, and they will do things if they get written instruction or verbal instruction. So the main thing is they're human beings. Give them instructions, and they can execute it just as well as anyone else. And again, put the systems in place, give them their instructions. What else? There's so much. Utilize a set in place a good communication platform. Again, it's just like a software. If you don't use your software enough, you're going to forget about and never use it. They're an expense. You want to be using them.
Mm.
So all the above, I could go on all day, but those probably are like 3 or 4 things that are essential.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I think that we as business owners, especially if we just new to outsourcing, that we forget about those little nuances that need to be done to be able to have a successful relationship with your VA. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's really great. Nickie, where can people find you again if they want to work with you?
Yeah, so my business website is www.youroutsourceaid.com. My profile and everything is just my name, so Nickie Cobble. Nickie is spelled weird. It is Nickie. I don't post business on my social media, but we can just be friends. And then everything else business is just my name at youroutsourceaid.com. So Nickie at youroutsourceaid.com.
Sure. And you've left me with a product, or you've left me with a PDF of something that you'd like to promote on your site.
Yeah, it's just a little discount for your listeners. I think right now it's just a February, so like some love, Cupid, whatever, deal. If this releases in March, I'm sure I'll hook them up with something else, but it's just a discount code that's going to save them $50 a month for X number of months. I don't remember the exact months now, but regardless, check out the website, go to deals, and you're going to get some savings.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. That's wonderful. Nickie, and if you were to give some advice to a newbie who was just about to outsource their task to someone, what would that be?
really spend at least 1 to 7 days and write down or put an Excel sheet, put in a Google Doc what you're doing throughout the day and how long you're spending doing it. Because a lot of people's gut reaction is, oh, I'm going to just outsource my social media. I hate it. I don't want to do it. They can do my Instagram. But really, they don't realize, oh, crap, I'm spending 4 hours on email. And that's not making me any money, or appointment setting or payroll or recruiting or HR, or I don't know what it is, but really just be mindful of how you are spending your time and what would be the most profitable to delegate, because more often than not, it's not people's first instinct.
Mm. Yeah, great advice. Nickie, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me and for giving us all those really valuable insights into how business owners can outsource their tasks without being overwhelmed.
Thank you, Rose. It's been amazing.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.